Hi, Tyler Interfidelity here. Today we're going to talk about the AKG K267 Tiesto headphone. I had no idea who Tiesto was. Evidently he's a big European disc jockey and has quite a following. He spun discs at the 2004 Olympics in Athens. Anyway, he partnered up with AKG to come out with a celebrity branded headphone, the 267 Tiesto, also the K67 Tiesto and the K167 Tiesto. I didn't think the K67 was quite up to snuff, and I did think the K167 Tiesto was pretty good, but didn't quite make my hit list for headphones that I'd like to review, but it's still a pretty good headphone. The 267 though really did catch my interest. It's got some interesting features on that, and we'll kind of go through it to get to them. This is a full-sized sealed headphone. Right and left are labeled on the inside. There's cable entries on the bottom of both cups so that you can plug the cable into either one. I suppose for DJs that might be important. The headphones have quite a bit of articulation. They fold flat like this, and then you can fold the earpieces up into it for storage. It does come with a feels kind of like neoprene. It's a padded pouch. It's a simple pouch. And it also comes with a coiled cable. This one is 15 feet long. The straight cable that comes with it is 10 feet long. It's terminated in a mini plug, a screw-on type mini plug, and does come with a 1/8 to 1/4 inch adapter for it. The headphones themselves have a lot of metal components. The 3D axis swivel here is all aluminum. Some of the hinging piece is aluminum. The outside of the ear cup is aluminum, and then there's various plastic pieces. The artificial leather, it's a nice grade of artificial leather. I found it quite nice actually. The headband has a pretty ample foam cushion up here that's cloth covered, and then a leather branded AKG embossed piece on top. I found the overall design in terms of its stylishness a little lacking. I don't think it's quite as good looking as, for example, the Sennheiser Momentum or the Sony MDR-1R, which are in the same price category. But I don't think it's an ugly looking headphone, certainly not. So it's a little bit plain. Didn't like these little dots on here, but I thought the look of the earpiece itself was good. Certainly the function of these 3D swivels was quite good. The headphones adjust nicely, they fit nicely over the ears, they seal pretty reliably and pretty easily. The comfort on the head is fairly good. The ear cups are a little shallow and a little cozy. My ears do touch the pad on the over the baffle plate, but it is a foam pad, so it's fairly cozy and fairly comfortable on the ears, even though it's a little bit tight. The pad on the headband, it seemed a little bit stiff to me, and over time I did get a little bit of a hot spot on the top of my head, but that was for long listening sessions. I'd say they're a fairly comfortable headphone all in all. In terms of sound quality, they are quite good. Oh, I should mention, I'm sorry, one thing that I did see on the forums as I looked there were a number of people who had broken hinges. Basically it's this hinge in here, and there is a plastic piece in there, and a couple of people did experience a break there. So it seemed to me that I wouldn't call this a really bulletproof headphone. Sound quality wise, I thought they were quite good. not quite as good for me as the Sennheiser Momentum, but they didn't have the treble tizziness that the K550 does, and the fit on the ear was better. The K550 has some problems with fit on the ear that people lose bass response and sometimes complain that the sound quality wasn't what they'd like. So I think the sound quality of the K267 is a little bit better than the 550. The response is a little bit uneven. I thought the Momentum did a better job of delivering an even and relatively refined response for a full-size sealed headphone, but the K550 was close. Good tight bass, fairly neutral response, non-fatiguing treble, but a treble that's there. So all in all, I thought they did pretty good. The real cool feature about this headphone, though, and quite unique, is the sliding switch around the edge here that adjusts the low frequency response of the headphone. I'll put up a little graphic here of the frequency response, and you can see that in the studio setting it's fairly flat. In the club setting, it has about 3 or 4 dB more bass below 120 Hertz, and in the stage setting it has about 7 dB over the studio setting of bass boost. There's another headphone that does have this feature, the Beyerdynamic Custom 1 Pro, and I measured them some time ago and thought that it was quite gimmicky and that the bass response switch wasn't very usable. On these headphones, I found that it was quite usable, that the studio setting was fairly neutral and kept good low frequency response and tightness. And then in the stage setting, you did get the bass boost, so you got kind of a bass head headphone out of it at that point. And nice tight bass. It kept its impact and punch. Wasn't overwhelming or muddy or anything like that. So I thought they did a very tasteful job in selecting these switch positions. The club, I did measure a little bit of additional distortion in the low frequencies, and I thought I could hear it a little bit, but nonetheless it's in between the two, and I ended up using that switch quite often and enjoying it quite a bit. However, for bass heads, I do think that the V-Moda M100 is probably a better bass head headphone, though its frequency response is more uneven than the K267s. So if you're an audiophile but want a bass head headphone but don't want too much bass, this K267 may be just a ticket, as you can dial it between various amounts of bass setting, and I thought that was pretty convenient. One mention here is that I think probably the best use of these headphones is as a headphone for use around the home or office or in a studio, certainly. I actually think it's a pretty good studio headphone, and because the headphone cable is replaceable, AKG also makes a long headphone cable. This is a 6-meter cable, so it's about 20 feet or thereabouts. A 6-meter cable. This is a cable that you can get as a spare part for the AKG Quincy Jones Q701 headphone, and in the article on Interfidelity, the link for which you can find below this YouTube video, I have the part number for this, so you can buy this as a spare part. And then you've got 20 feet of cable, so walking around the office or the studio becomes very possible. So I like the headphone for that type of application. So briefly again, because it is a little complicated, this is quite a crowded field. The full-size sealed headphones costing, you know, $300, $350. These are $349, I think, at the moment. So it's a crowded field. Bottom line, I don't think this thing excelled in and was the best headphone in any one application, but I do think it split the difference and has a niche for itself in the group. It's not a headset, but it fits better than the Momentum, and a lot of people don't like the sound of the Momentum for whatever reason. It is a little bit unusual sounding in some ways. So I think this may be a good alternative to the Momentum if the fit or the sound isn't what you'd like out of the Momentums. I thought it was quite superior to the AKG K550 in most ways. I thought it was nearly as good a basshead can as the V-Moda, but not quite. I thought that it performed a little better overall, and a little better in the treble than the Ultimate Ears UE6000, which is a $100 less headphone, however, so it's a good bargain. This one is not a bargain at $349. And it's though it's not anywhere near as good looking to my eyes as the Sony MDR-1R, it is better sounding than the MDR-1R, although again it's not a headset. Lastly, if you're a DJ, because of the reliability issues and because it can't be put onto one ear very easily, there's no folding feature to allow it to fold back. This is the Sennheiser Amperior, and it has some features that allow you to fold back one of the earpieces behind your ears. I think that the Sennheiser Amperior or HD25 1-2 Mark II is a better DJ headphone. So if you're a DJ, I'd suggest the Sennheiser Amperior or HD25 1 or the Pioneer HDJ 2000, and I think both of those are probably better for DJs. So if you're a Tiesto fan and think he's pretty cool, I think you'll find these headphones good fun. And if you're looking for a headphone that's useful around the home or office where you want to shut out a little noise and have a little bit of extra cable to walk around with, or in a studio, I think for musicians and people behind the board, these may be a good headphone for general purpose use. Though for mastering use and real critical work, I'd suggest a headphone that's more refined, like the Sennheiser HD600, AKG K701, or Sennheiser HD800, Audeze LCD2 or LCD3. But for general purpose work, I think these might be a pretty good headphone. Alright. I sure enjoyed these. I hope you get a chance to listen to them and enjoy them yourself, and we'll see you next time.